David, can you see me now? It's like the old Verizon commercials. Can you hear me now? There's going to be a little bit of dead time for the recording that I put up later. Oh yeah, it did split me off into two. So yeah, the stream will be split into two once again. Some people may claim that I'm doing that for views purposes. I'm splitting these into two so that people have to click on both. But I guarantee you, I'm not that nefarious. Um, okay, back to the game then. Let's see. Yeah, boy, I don't know. I keep messing with it. One of these days, we're going to get it perfect. I guarantee it. But today is not that day with this old game. The resolution on this thing, I have it at 1280 and 1000 right now. I may have to back it up to 720p, but I know people don't like that because obviously, if it's at 720p, you can't read everything. You can still see the game fine and everything, but you can't really read anything. And so I know that people really don't like that. Um, okay, well, back to it. Let's get back to it. Uh, I, I'm at a loss sometimes with this dang software. Maybe I'll back it up to 720p right now and see what you guys think. And let's just see what happens. Oh, I can't do it in the middle of the stream. Okay, well, we'll soldier on here. Um, all right, so those AMWs went there. I think that's everything really with Singapore. Let's make sure everybody is lined up to be in Singapore, that they're in combat mode, that they're ready. I think we've done this once before, but I will do this continuously, obviously. And that's why. Here we got somebody in strategic move. Oh, he's the guy going to Christmas Island. Right. Okay, we got to make sure we don't click them off. Although I think they probably need to be in combat mode because I think Christmas Island is going to be an amphibious landing. Surely it is, right? Yeah. So anyway, it won't matter. We can flip them over when the transport actually gets there, and so we'll worry about that then. Singapore combat. We got these. This is the 224 group RAF that we decided we're going to get the 224 out of here, so they'll be ready for the transport. Okay, I think that's Singapore. So let's move down to Palembang. Let's see what's going on in Palembang. And we kind of looked at some of these other bases last time, but you really, Palembang's one of those places you need to look pretty much every time. So we brought these Kiwi engineers down here. We've got the Palembang base force, and we've just got one infantry unit here. It's a garrison battalion, even Sumatra Garrison. Um, Yeah, Stanley, you know what though? It'll record, and when it uploads later, it will show just fine. So I don't know. It's very odd. Um, let's go here and look. What do we have at Palembang? So we've got these tankers here. They're fully loaded. They're ready to go. I think last time I said, I really wanted to get some ASW support to go with them. Uh, we also have this transport here, the Hong Peng. Its victory value is 8, so it's kind of on the lower end of transports. We might want to use that to roll over here and maybe get some things out of Singkawang or Kuching. That's a possibility. We have some HDMLs here. Now, are these? Yep, these are just as good. They need to be running, well, why don't we do a patrol zone with them that kind of goes up a few hexes here, that goes out to here and then back. We'll just have them go there and back over and over. That's pretty nice. So we'll set boundary to, well, we'll just leave it like that, actually. Let's right click. It's just going to go there, turn right back around and come back. We'll let that, hmm. Um, So we'll just do that with them. That's really nice ASW. I didn't realize those HTMLs were quite that good. This cargo ship is fully loaded. It's another Palembang here, so we need to get this out. Let's undock it. Let's set its mission here. Now this just has cargo, and so I say cargo, but just supply. We could bring that to Port Hedland. We could bring it all the way to Perth. Do we need it to go all the way to Perth? What's our supply situation in Darwin? It's not that great. Why don't we bring that to Darwin? But we're going to have to do this with waypoints because as you see, it's going to want to go this way, right? And so let's actually set up some waypoints here. We're going to use waypoints, set waypoint 1. Waypoint 1 will be out. I want it to go down through the strait, right? So let's have this be waypoint 1. Now let's see how this moves when it comes out of here. Yeah, it still wants to go around. So we're gonna have to set it to direct. That's whenever it's not going it kind of how you want it to go or how it should look, it should go. Should look, it should go. Is that even a phrase? Go over to direct, and usually then it'll pick the fastest route. So if it seems like it's going out and around something, and so look at this thing. It looks like a dog's hind leg there. Let's get that then going behind Christmas Island down here, and then we'll have it go. Then it'll go straight across to Darwin. Let's make sure that looks right. Comes out of here. Okay, that looks good. And then straight across to Darwin. We'll go give Darwin some supply. That reminds me, let's go back to these tankers and let's think about this for a minute. We've got 4 ships in port. Okay, we've got the 2 light cruisers. We've got the motor launch. And we've got a mine layer. Huh. Okay, does this mine layer have any mines? It does. All right, well, we need to put all of these kind of in different task forces. So let's do mine laying. Done. Put that there. And let's say lay mines. And it'll just lay mines here at Palembang. Actually, let's go out 1 hex. Let's lay mine, or 2 hexes. Let's lay mines right there. All right, so we'll lay mines. It's got 60 VK2s, so let's go get those out in the water just in case we get any Japanese activity down here. So there's that. Now let's set up the motor launch. That's just surface combat. We'll do, where'd he go? There he is, number 311. All right, and he just sits here as well, right? He's got essentially no endurance. We could run him back and forth out to that other base. And now that I said that, let's just do it. Set patrol zone, out to here. So he's just going to go point, 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 back and forth. Good. Now then, we've got these 2 light cruisers. We may, is it really necessary to send it with the tankers? Probably not. We don't really need AA down at Palembang just yet. I mean, the Japanese are up here. Is that conceivably in range of something? I mean, maybe, I guess. You could always have the main Japanese task force show up down here too, but really I think they would all be focused on Singapore. That being said, let's go ahead and we'll just put them in with these tankers and get them out of here anyway. Okay, done. Let's go look at the Tiedemann. What's the Tiedemann up to here? That's the Digotel. Oh, here it is. Peace. All right. This is a patrol craft. Yeah, it's just got some anti-air. I just wanted to know if it had any anti-sub to, help. I would like something to help lead these tankers out of here. Okay, so we're loading fuel there. We got another one that's fully loaded. All right. Oh, this is the one that's going to Darwin. Sorry. Then we have the transport. We got to figure out if we want to go over. What is its load? 500 and 1100. I think we looked at this last time, didn't we? Because, you know, we could come get one or two of these base forces out of here for the Dutch. What else? This may be an infantry. No, that's a base force. That they do have an infantry unit over here. What's the load? That's too much. What's the load of this base force? Now this is ticketed for Billiton. Oh, right. We're supposed to fly this out of here. Do we have patrol craft that can do that? We have fighters, and we have, yes, we do. Okay, what are these guys doing right now? They're doing naval search. Those are pretty good arcs. But they could fly some of these units out of here. Hey, what's up, Arthur? How you doing? Good to see you. Um, hmm. Do we have this base force set for anywhere? Not really. So this one, or was it this one? Hold on. That's Sinquang. That's Sinquang. Okay, so the one down here, what is it called? Pontiac. We have ticketed to jump over here to Billiton, but we said we would do that with these planes. So we've got our float planes there. What planes do we have at Kuching? Oh, we have these fighters. Right. Oh, we already transferred these out, but there's one that's been left behind that will follow. Oh, goodness. Let's get this out of here. I had kind of lost track of that. Look at this task force. This needs to get the heck out. This needs to get the heck out of here. Now we're loading the 215th Punjab on here. That's why it's sitting here. But I'm like, my goodness, let's get this out of here. This is a lot of points if you added all of that up. We've got a light cruiser, a destroyer, um, a patrol gunboat. We've got 4 APs and an AK here. That's not ideal. I think they're all loaded up though now. Right, because we don't see the Punjab on here anymore. We don't see the base force here anymore. So these guys are ready to go. We've got them at full speed out of here to Batavia, thank goodness. Let's hope they get out because I don't like the looks of that. Now it says it's only an AK, but who knows what, you know, the main Japanese task force is going to show up here at some point. Yeah, you're right, Bayard. Yep, there are all the troops are on there. We're loading supply. I'm tempted to just get out of here. We don't even need to load up supply, right? So we could do that. Let's actually, can you do that now? I don't think you can now just say load troops only, which is what I should have done, I believe. Um, okay, I'm not going to mess with that because I do not want their. Oh, did it say, is that how you do that? Cancel, you're right, cancel load supply. Okay, perfect. So now we've got all the troops on there. Get out of there. Let's go. We also have an AKL here. It's not really doing anything. Cargo Miri. So it was running things across this little stretch of the ocean, you know, just a Miri to make sure Miri didn't, you know, have no supply whatsoever. They've now done that. I think we can probably get that unit out of here. That's a very dangerous mission, although it's just a little AKL that's worth 2 points. Well, we don't really have much here. The idea actually would be to go to Miri and bring it back. So let's just get him out of here. There's no reason to threaten these guys' lives. We'll take them into Batavia. We'll set the home port as Batavia, and we'll get that out of there. Now at Miri, you see that we have mines down. We've got some sub work going on out here. We've got a base force. They do have a refinery, a decent sized one, and oil production here at Miri. Brunei, you know, they've got 10 oil. That's not much. It's really at Miri here. At Jesselton, what do we have going on there? Now we have a transport that's sitting here. Interesting. Okay. So this base force, we have Jesselton. We have this one. Oh, this came in from Hong Kong. And the Rifles of Canada is here. Interesting. We've got this transport here. So we could take them out of Jesselton if we wanted to, but question, you know, do we really want to do that? So this came, I believe this came out of Hong Kong and brought that the Rifles of Canada down here. How much is the Glenorchy? Yeah, it's a 15-point ship. Let's get that out of here. I really would rather, let's take that to Darwin if we can. Can we do that? Yeah, we can. We've got plenty. And we'll set its home port as Darwin. But let's waypoint this thing. So let's do a waypoint 1 where we, you know, kind of, I want to come right here and then waypoint 2 this way so that it comes down the Macassar Strait. I think that's a lot safer right now. Okay, perfect. That's excellent, actually. Great. Okay, so we're going to leave these guys here along with the patrol aircraft. You know, it's a suicide mission, but just a small holding force there. Now let's look at Tarakan. Tarakan, we know we don't have anything at port here. We do have all of these motor torpedo boats. Okay, fine. I mean, they can kind of dissuade Japanese craft from coming into the harbor, I guess. We'll see how much they actually dissuade them. Bayard asks, what's the PA squadron up here doing? I think they were running naval search. Oh, they were doing supply transport now. I'm glad you said that, actually. So there's 4 planes here. We could do straight up naval search, but actually, why don't we do... They've got a big range, too. Why don't we do some naval search out this way? We've got a lot of Japanese activity out here, and I feel like a lot of it is not being escorted by anything with planes. So, oh, was it the planes? Okay, I just didn't remember that off the top of my head. So the planes got the Rifles of Canada out of here. Okay, cool. We're gonna let them run naval search up here in the South China Sea, and just see what they can find, see what they do. Let's go over here to the swamp of Tarakan and look at this again. We do have a small token force here, 31. We have the guns of Tarakan. Wait till you see those suckers get into action. It's good stuff. We've got fighters up at 60 cap. Their fatigue's awfully high for they haven't even been attacked yet. They have over 20 fatigue. Let's actually stand them down a turn. So let's stand them down for 1 turn. We'll have to come back and remember that. This patrol aircraft, they're also running up here in the South China Sea. Okay, that all looks good to me. Let's go to Balikpapan. We have a patrol aircraft kind of monitoring this area here to see if the Japanese maybe try to do a kind of an end run around us. That's fine. We have some fighter support, just 4. We got them up in 40 cap. They've got 52 experience. We're just going to take off training here. So we've got them at 50 cap. That looks fine. CMs, we've got a mine layer here at Tarakan. Does it have any mines left is the question. No, it has used all of its mines. So let's send that back to Baya. Okay, so that's going to go back there. We do have a tanker in here, the British Motorist. It is loading fuel, and then its home port is Darwin. So it's sitting here loading fuel, remaining on station. Why don't we turn that around? Why don't we make Bali Papan its home port? And let's say you're going to Darwin. All right. Then we can take off remain on station. How do these waypoints look, or how does the routing look? Not bad. I like that routing fine. Okay, so the British motorist will get out of there full of fuel, and then it'll come back if it can. How much is the British motorist worth? It's a 20-point ship. It's not insignificant, let's put it that way. What about that AM that's with it? Does it? Yeah, I mean, it can always get fuel from the motorist, right? So that's fine. Right. Okay, what do we have over here at Banjarmasin? At Banjarmasin, we still have this force, which we didn't really have ticketed for anywhere. We could maybe bring it, across the way to Java. Then we have all of this anti-sub. We have Billiton here. We have to figure out if we want to go get these guys at Pontianak. We have Batavia. How many ships at Porter and Batavia now? We've got it down to 2, so that's good. We created a lot of task forces last time. That includes the submarine tender Johnson, or Jansen's, I should say. And then also another tender, a gunboat patrol tender here in AGP. So we just have 2 tenders sitting here. That's fine, perfectly fine. Now, what are some of these guys doing? We've got tanker going to Perth. Oh, we've got this as a remain on station. Let's dock this. Got it. Okay. Dock this and let's load fuel. All right. As a matter of fact, let's just turn this around. I like to turn these around. The remain on stations can get a little confusing, or you at least you can lose time if you don't get this right. So we set home port at Batavia. Now we set the destination to Perth. I much prefer to do it that way than have it be homed from Perth, go to Batavia and remain on station, because if you forget about it, it just sits there for a little long. This is being overly cautious, but I am going to have it go out past Christmas before it turns south, and maybe even to the Cocos. Yeah, let's have it go all the way to here before it turns south to Perth. I prefer doing that way. If it runs down the backside of Java here too close, you run the risk that if the Japanese main task force shows up, let's say here, they can reach it. This way, it would be very difficult for them to do that. Okay, so that was a remain on station. We have these 2 AMCs out here, local minesweepers. We have a mine layer headed for Billiton, or that's where it's supposed to be. Does it have mines? Nope, it's back here filling up. We have transports that are still here. This is a huge transport. It is unloading. So we did get all of these British units out. Very nice. I think when this unloads, I want it to disband, and then we'll come here and deal with how we want to put this all back together. But excellent. That got the Brit troops there. I think those actually came from Cape Town, right? The AKL, okay, cargo to Billiton. Let's go ahead and dock and fill this up with supply and run that out to Billiton with one of our, small little X AKLs. We'll have it go there, and let's just do this continuous. I don't really like to do it when they're in the rain of fire here, but I believe that's like a 2-point ship. Let's just get as much supply into Billiton as we can. We've got fuel Christmas. It's a fuel Christmas. Okay, so it's docked. It's fully loaded. Let's get that going out to Christmas Island. All right, and we'll set that up to continuous as well. We want to turn that off full refuel, and we'll go back and do the same with this here. Get that off so they don't refuel at their stops. What do we have here? that is Fuel Christmas. Okay. We've got the two light cruisers here, Dutch light cruisers, the Java and the De Ruyter. These are fairly, I don't want to say worthless ships. That, that's not fair. But uh, they're not that great. They do have 100 anti-aircraft. Which one is the ones that only have a... Okay, these are better than I thought. Sorry. There are some of these Dutch light cruisers that only have like 54 anti-aircraft. They're not doing you a hell of a lot of good, but a 140 does fine. Okay, apologies to the Dutch and anybody that served upon the Java or the De Ruyter. But they're just sitting here now. There's really nothing to do with them. And then we just have some patrol craft out here. Okay, let's go through our aircraft. 224 group. Now this is where I believe we'll bring the 224 aviation command. And so having 224s down here is good. Australian squadron. We've got 5 serviceable Buffalo 1s here. Their fatigue, again, it's at 14. I kind of feel like cap 50 is like neutral fatigue. If you wanted to start going down, maybe it would go down a point or here or there at 50, but if you really wanted to start going down, you have to either rest them up for a turn or, start moving at some figure below 50%. We've got some level bombers here. No reason not to keep them here for now, but we not really doing much. We can do naval search. We could do some ASW. We've got these guys training. They're at a 51. These guys are at a 52. Okay. We've got these guys fully training. They're up to a 52. I'm just going to take that off before, something happens and I don't think about it. The Japanese are going to be showing up in the not too distant future. Let's just have them run a 50 cap. That's fine. Let's get their range up. Okay. What are these guys doing? Same deal. It's another 12. We got a lot of aircraft here. Escort, cap, max range. All right. Some more level bombers, the 9 more with 3 in reserve. This is the L212. I'm not really very familiar. I'm not really familiar with this aircraft, so not sure what it is. We've got this medium level bombers. Okay, we've got 10, 1. That's a good point, Bayard. We could add some pilots in here. We could get some pilots from the pool and start mixing them in here so that we've got kind of doubling up. I mean, when you're talking about the Aussies and the Dutch, you don't have that many squadrons really. And so, you can start pulling new pilots in here. It's something to think about. Now I'm seeing get new pilot. That's not lit up. Yeah, we could for the Dutch. Now this is, we've got 10 planes. The fatigue is 6. The fatigue is 14 here. I don't think we have any Aussie pilots. We do have fighter pilots for the Dutch, it seems. Why don't we get 1 or 2? So we must have 3 in there. Let's get a couple. This is an important fighter group. Let's get 1 for these guys. Yeah, okay, 15. Okay, so we've added some Dutch pilots. Looks like the British have some bomber pilots. Nothing left for the Dutch there. Okay, so that takes care of the aircraft there, and I believe we've taken care of all the ships here at Batavia. Now let's go look at the ground units. They should all be Combat Batavia. Combat Batavia, Combat Batavia. Okay, this all looks good. Now we'll go see what the British are set to. Yeah, so we've got a Cocos Island movement, or Cocos Island movement. Well, we need to move it, so we may use one of those transports. All right, so this one's Singapore. Oh, wow. Got a motorized unit here. 3rd Cavalry Regiment, armored. We've got these little tankettes. I think they should have called them something different. Tankettes do not strike fear into my heart. Yeah, these are all the guys out of Singapore, so I was wrong. I had said Cape Town just a few moments ago, but yeah, these guys are all out of Singapore. Well, let's set their objective to Batavia for now. I'm not entirely sure this is where we'll set them up. If I was playing another human, I probably would have brought these guys into Palembang, to be quite honest with you, assuming nothing had been agreed as to how we would treat, no house rules. Um, Batavia didn't take. Always go back and check those. The game's a little finicky. You got to get it right on the base. So Batavia, did I have these on combat? No, I did not. Okay, let's switch them for now over to combat mode. I don't think we're going to move them in the near future. Now this AA unit, let's get it out with. Okay, so next turn, when these fully unload here, let's go ahead and we'll take one of these transports. So we're going to have it auto disband, and then we'll take this AA unit out to the Cocos. We'll do that next turn. Okay, cool. So that all works. What else do we have here? Oh, one more British unit. Singapore combat. Okay, so this is an artillery unit. So let's set that to Batavia. Cool. All right, that all looks good. I think we've moved through Batavia pretty well here. What else do we have right up here? We really need to look at Oosthaven. Now, I know that we do not have enough aviation support here. We saw that. We've got 36 aircraft here, only 6 aviation support. And so that's not good. Yeah, oh, we've got 8 actually, but it's showing in a deep red because of course we do not have enough. These are all level bombers. We really only need, one unit out here doing some ASW. What is that made up of? It's made up of 5 serviceable aircraft. This one's made up of 7. Um, oh, it's the one doing it that way. I do like both of these ASWs here, but okay, we've got 8 aviation support. We might as well keep the bigger one here, and let's transfer this out, and let's have that go to, we're kind of running out of good places for planes to go to in Java, but let's have it go to Tajilajap for now, and then we've got a British, oh gosh, this is a big one here. It's got a maximum range of 27, so maybe we can get it further on. Let's transfer base. Let's see how far we can get this sucker out of here. Support. We can get it down to Surabaya. Okay, we have enough there. As a matter of fact, that lines up perfectly. So let's take it down to Surabaya. And excellent. Okay, so now we've just got the 1 level bombers here. And we've got Oosthaven. 8 aviation support, 8 required. And, I kind of like having some ASW right here. It's possible that's how that sub was spotted. We don't know, and I'm not going to go all the way back through the log to see who spotted that, but it's possible. Now, we do have some really nice destroyers here. These are the good British destroyers, right? Electra and Express, yes. They are 8 ASW, and they are all over this sub. So hopefully we'll get a nice result there. We also have these Dutch destroyers. Now they're only a 2, but we're really monitoring this strait right here because you just don't want the Japanese getting loose out into the Indian Ocean. Okay, so that all looks good. What else is going on at Oosthaven? Well, we have a ship here, the Beatrice, and we called this Fuel Batavia. So interesting. Okay, so we've been running this over to Batavia. Oosthaven has not built up yet, mainly this fuel supply. We're trying to suck it out of Palembang down here, but that really hasn't happened yet. So there's not a whole lot we can do here this time. No ships in port. That all looks good. Let's look here at Morocco. Fuel 1000 doesn't have much supply. Cargo to Perth. Home port is Palembang. You know what? This is all fuel, right? What is Morocco? Yeah, its port size is so dang small. Why don't we have this actually, instead of going all the way to Perth, let's have this go into Batavia. Let's just have it drop there, go back to Palembang really fast. Java is in no threat now, so putting fuel in here and having it flow, all throughout Java, no big deal. Oh, Stanley's asking about the setting objective base. Yeah, and that's right. That's the correct answer. The more you've planned for a place, the better your combat modifier is if you fight a battle there, and that's what it's really for. So you're right, Stanley. It does go into, if you're going to do an amphibious landing, you plan for that future place that you're going, because you may not get that negative modifier when you get there. So that's what that's for. Um, okay, so we looked at Morocco. What do we have here? Just an AMC, so a minesweeper. We have a base force, okay. Then we have Bandoang, where we have quite a few aircraft here. But I think we're going to take that up on Friday, right? Today is Wednesday, I think. My gosh, the week's moving fast. We'll keep moving down Java here until we get to Swerbaya. And then I think also on Friday, we'll go back up, look at Rangoon, because we did finally come under air attack there. So we'll go look there. We'll probably look at Pearl Harbor, kind of all the things we usually do before we resolve the turn on Sunday, which we will be doing again this week. So thank you guys so much. I always appreciate it, and I always have a great time. So that's all down to the viewers. So thank you very much. This is Strategy Gaming Dojo. I'll talk to you next time.